money that I collected. It's honorable that brought money.
Contribution to Nigerian peace.
Me, I want name all of now. Look at this.
But there comes a time when you want to take steps every day to make this country a better place.
And the new Nigeria is
Education's telling them it's time to change.
It's another lovely weekend, and you're right here tuned to Presidency Radio and Television and listening to the program Ground Zero coming to you via Invicta FM. My name is Ehis Agbon, and today on the program we will generally be looking at some of these very trending issues in the politics, most especially issues happening in the National Assembly or the legislature, where the leadership the leadership is becoming a talking point all across the nation, because in the past week, wherever you turn to, is the Senate presidency or speakership position that is being discussed. My name is Ehis Agbon, and on the program today, we have two guests, one already seated and the other will be joining us soon. But meanwhile, to be part of Ground Zero, you can go to our various, these various social media platforms and connect to our handle, which is Procyon RTV. We are on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. We have a unified handle. It's Procyon RTV. And of course, for those that would want to drop their voice notes and messages on our WhatsApp platform, it's 0809 799 1989. That's 0809 799 1989. And like I said, today on the program, we'll be looking at the 10th Senate presidency, zoning or competency, Tinubu State's position. What its position is, we get to know today, and how it is becoming a major talking point. My guest on the program today, I already have seated in the studio Zwahu Yamwedi. He's a media consultant and a public affairs analyst. Zwahu, you're welcome to Ground Zero.
Thank you very much.
Also, any moment from now, Ndajuma Abbas Dangwa will join us. When he comes in, we'll introduce him properly. Now, let's just look at some of the things that's been trending. Whichever device you pick up, you go to any of the news portals in the past 10 days or thereabouts, you will stumble on headlines like 10th NAS leadership, work with Adamus NWC, Tinubu tells APC governors. This one is just a news item that came out today. APC denies the zoning 10th NAS leadership position. It's also a trending news for today. And 18 hours ago, Premium Times came out with 10th NAS leadership. Tinubu meets with governors. And we have 21 hours ago from leadership, there's a 10th NAS leadership. Bajamia Mila, 283, I just lost that out. Okay, Bajabia Mila, 283 reps vow to respect APC zoning. The earlier headline said APC does not have anything like zoning, but this one is saying that Bajabia Mila and the reps have vowed to respect zoning. And there's also this headline where APC governors meet as race for 10th NAS leadership intensifies. And there's also Kwara lawmaker vows to join the race, and the fact that our group is saying that it must be zoned to South-South and all of that. And ahead of the inauguration of the 10th National Assembly, indications emerged yesterday that a section of the leadership of the ruling All Progressive Congress, APC, are proposing that the Senate presidency be microzoned to the South-South, a template that would effectively ease out the Southeast from the leadership equation. And if you recall some weeks back, when names started coming out, some of the names that are the leading names that we saw then included Senator Jibrin Barau from Kano, Sani Musa from Niger, Orji Uzokalu from Abia North, Godfrey Akpabio from Akwa Ibom State, Osita Izunaso from Imo State, Peter Ondubueze from Imo North, Abdulaziz Yari from Zafara, Ahmed Lawa from Yobe, and so many others just coming up now and wanting to be part of it. I didn't mention the fact that Adams Oshomole's name was also mentioned, and going by the rules of the Senate and occupying leadership position, they have their rules spelled out for them, which we also read out some weeks back. Now, let's come to talk about this issue of Senate presidency and why it's become a talking point again.
Yeah, I mean, thank you very much, Ahis. It will naturally become a talking point because, number one, and which is primarily, not necessarily because of service or altruism. It is largely that politicians are only angling to grab power, to grab positions, so that they are relevant. If it was not going to accrue any personal gains for anybody, nobody would care about it. Ordinarily, you understand?
Yeah.
I mean, knowing our politicians, how they operate, their pedigree, and all of that. Primarily, that's it. But then again, there is also the real thing about it. And the real thing about it is to be able to, especially within our context here in Nigeria, if there is anything, or if there has been anything that this particular government, this outgoing government, has been lashed on about, is the fact that many people, and I also, never thought that this government of Muhammadu Buhari has been able to manage diversity well. Okay? So you see that many sections of the country or the population felt left out in the scheme of things, in how government was run. Okay, ministerial positions, you would have people from the different states because that is spelled out in the constitution. Yet many people felt, and indeed all these positions were given to people from different states, but what kind of positions, whatever, people always ask the questions, these are juicy ministries or whatever. So all of that, but that I just use that as an example.
Yeah.
So coming to the leadership of the National Assembly, okay, for us in Nigeria, there is a need to carry people along and to be seen and to appear to carry people along. Okay. Right now, what obtains is that the head of the executive arm of government is from northern Nigeria.
Yeah, not central.
No, executive arm, northwest.
Northwest.
That's the president.
Yes, yeah.
Okay. The head of the
Senate.
Legislature.
Yes.
The head of the legislature. Okay, is still from the northeast. Okay, and until very recently, the Chief Justice of Nigeria,
before now,
yeah,
was from the north.
Yes, from the north until very recently.
Yes,
yeah,
southwest.
From the southwest and all of that. So, I mean, these are all issues that got people wagging their tongues. Okay, ordinarily, it shouldn't be a problem. Ordinarily, it should be, competency.
Yeah.
And then, of course, the people whom the president feels he can work with very easily, in terms of the executive arm, so the minister. And then in terms of the other arms of government, where the judiciary has its own natural, trajectory,
yes,
that people rise to get to become the heads of the judiciary. And for the National Assembly, it's the party. How are we going to have the kind of legislature that will help us run the affairs of government well? Okay, if the legislature has more members from an opposition party or a different party other than the ruling party, the president's party. They say, okay, how are we going to make sure that we provide that needed balance? Okay, checks and balances and all of that. Okay, and while making sure that we support the government as a whole to deliver the goods of governance. But if they are from the same party, again, then the party will sit down and decide, along with whomever or whoever the president is, how do we ensure that we get the kind of people or the kind of persons that will work very well, that will make life easier for the president without necessarily jettisoning the role of the legislature, apart from making laws, but to check the executive. So these are the real considerations. But now, I believe that, I know that the primary concern why a lot of people are talking is just that they just want to get their legs into the door, you know, so that they benefit. I mean, largely, yeah, to get relevance. But then again, there is also the important factor of getting everybody to feel carried along. Therefore, you want to spread these kind of things. Now, if someone like you mentioned Adams or Shomole wanting to be Senate President,
against the rules
of the House, okay? But then again, it is his party.
Yeah.
Okay, so I mean, these are all of the balancing acts that have to be done to be able to form the government as it should be constituted, and then we'll move on with this new regime.
Yes, and you know, the concerns of many people that I've interacted with, both online and offline, is that as much as we want to have everybody, all segments, all regions carried along, should we sacrifice competence on the altar?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I mean, we should already have seen that this federal character thing is not taking anybody anywhere, or affirmative action. Okay, because federal character is just the constitutionalizing of affirmative actions. Okay, saying that this person must come from here, this person must come from here.
There must be a representation of everybody.
It has never really helped anybody. It has never really helped anybody, except that it gives people the feeling that we mad and they do and we does.
Okay.
You know, that's it. And that has its own importance, has its own place. But then again, the moment justice is being done and it is being seen to be done, many people will not care about the people there, because they know that the fact that your name is Ehiz and my name is Zoku, it doesn't matter what happens. If any of us goes afoul of the law is going to be brought to bear on all of us, on both of us equally. Okay? The moment people are able to gain that confidence and trust in the running of affairs of government, it will no longer matter whether everybody in government comes from one family. The important thing is that what needs to be done is being done and is being seen to be done. Okay? So yes, we need competence. We need competence, and I believe that we're also talking about people who have been elected into the National Assembly. Whether we like it or not, it is not to say that some parts of this country do not have competent people. But who are the people that got elected into the National Assembly in both chambers of the National Assembly?
Yeah.
Okay, if we want to get someone from North Central, do we have that person that is competent enough from the North Central simply because we wanted to be in the North Central? Should we just give anybody?
Or we should pick the best of the best?
We should pick the best of the best. I mean, when we have somebody, you have a Rolls Royce from the Northeast, but you say, no, this thing has to come from the Southeast. So you go and pick a Beetle. No, from the southeast. It does not make sense.
At all.
Okay? As much as possible, yes, try to spread it. Okay, but make sure you get your best hands.
Yeah.
And if you see that is going to cause trouble if you see that having to get fair representation, better spread, from across the country is going to sacrifice or is going to be at the expense of competence, then you have to reconsider your decision and make sure, because really what we need now is to move forward. But then people again look at the past.
Yeah.
People look at the past, whether immediate or far past, and see, have we been fairly dealt with? And it's also an issue of perception. Okay? You may have actually been fairly dealt with, but you do not feel that you have been fairly dealt with.
Yeah.
Okay? And so perception is very, very key. I always talk about perception. I don't know whether I'm the one that gets worried about that. Because sometimes you think you are doing something, but you are not doing it. Or you are actually doing it, but the person does not see that you are doing it.
Yeah.
So how do you manage perception? How do you manage perception?
Also really matters.
It matters. It matters a lot. So these are different kinds of balancing acts that the new government will have to be able to perfect, okay, so that it does well. But above all, I believe that the moment Nigerians begin to feel that the government is meaningful to them, and whatever they want to achieve, it is moving them in the right direction, I believe that a lot of these noises will just quieten naturally, especially from among the larger population.
Yeah.
But the politicians,
they would always be
politicians. They will always be politicians.
Want to play their way.
They want to play their way.
No.
They want to, set people against each other.
And that's why I am also concerned that the governors are so bent on deciding who would be the leadership team at the National Assembly. They are so bent on getting involved in it and deciding who that would be, to the point that even the president-elect had to caution them and tell them that no, they should work with the National Working Committee and not try to. They are so interested in deciding what happens.
Well, it depends. It depends. They have, of course, the governors have become some demigods in Nigeria, especially as it pertains to electioneering and how power is swerved. They are very, very. But then again, I'm also moved to ask the question. We are talking about the APC governors. Okay, how many states have APC in Nigeria?
Quite a number.
Okay.
More than half, though.
Yes, more than half APC. And where does the bulk of that number fall? This is in the north of this country.
Yes.
Okay, so whether we like it or not, there is still the issue of north versus south. Even though we have the APC producing the government and producing most of the members of the National Assembly, because that is why they are the ones talking about it. If not, if it were PDP or Labour Party or any other party that has the majority in the National Assembly, it won't be an issue for them. So they have the majority. So they have the majority, and then they have the presidency. Okay? So now, and we have a president from southern Nigeria. The question that I begin to ask is that, are you guys not in the same party? Then, is it that you don't trust this president because he's from southern Nigeria? Okay? Because the bulk of the APC governors are from northern Nigeria.
Yeah.
So whether we like it or not, all of these factors are in play. All of these factors are in play. And there is nothing wrong in people looking out for their interests. Okay? As a northerner, I will look out for my interests.
Yeah.
As a member or as a citizen of Kaduna State, I will look out for my interests. So what the governors are doing is not necessarily wrong. Okay? But then these are the factors I believe in play.
I'm still looking at the recent agitation that it should be micro-zoned, not just to the south, but to the south-south. And the fact that different groups are already coming out to espouse this position. South-south, let's look at the possible persons from the south-south. Apart from, what's his name, Akpabio, there's no other
second term.
Omagege
went to the yes
and lost out.
He lost out.
So basically, some believe that Godswill Akpabio is pulling some strings because yes, Oshomole is from the south-south.
Yeah, but he's the first
second timer. Akpabio is the second timer.
No.
Oshomole is the first timer, so he's
the first timer.
Unless if the party goes overboard to rewrite the rules.
Yeah, well, between now and then, I don't think it is possible.
Politics in Nigeria, never say never.
To rewrite the rules, I'm not sure it is that easy to rewrite.
You know, it's just hierarchy. They may decide first timer, ranking, number of...
It does not matter whether you were the president of Nigeria. If you go as a first-time senator, you are not a ranking member.
Yes. So
the ranking is how long you've been in the house.
In the house.
Or in, yeah.
So how to... Well, in Nigeria...
So obviously, if we are talking about the Senate presidency going to the south-south, obviously we are talking about Godswill Akpabio.
He seems to be the only one.
He's the only one. I don't remember. I don't remember any other person from the south-south. Okay. What about the southeast?
Southeast, we have a couple of them. We have Oji Uzo Kanu from Abia North, APC. We also have Osita Izunaso from Imo West, and also Peter Fonduboeze from Imo North. Yes, for now, those are the ones I got. Just three of them.
And they are not.
But of course, all Jews of Kanu seem to be way ahead.
Yeah, because he's not a first timer.
He's not the first timer. Same thing with Osita, because that should be a third timer. If I'm not mistaken.
So he's more ranking.
Yes.
he's higher in his ranking. So but by the time they decide to microzone it, and say it should come from southeast or south-south or wherever, I don't know how much trouble that is going to generate. But usually it has always been either north or south. Yeah. So but there will be certain, unspoken understanding that since this part has this, okay, like during Obasanjo, since he was from the southwest, the Senate presidents always came from south-south and southeast. Yes, mostly from the southeast. I mean, we had Adolfo Swabara from the south-south. Adolfo Swabara was from Rivers State.
Was it Rivers?
Swabara, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, from Rivers State. Yeah, so all of that. So we have a similar situation. So Tinubu is from the southwest. Are we going to have the Senate president come from southeast or south-south? I don't know how they are going to handle it.
Looking at the speakership too, because we cannot talk of the Senate presidency alone without looking at
it is all the same factors.
And nobody seems to be really talking about the southeast. Now, I am looking at the southeast as it were, and the fact that if for any reason it is they did not get the Senate presidency, and all still in the spirit of fair is fair, what other position can likely? First of all, why shouldn't the Southeast? Let's tamper down a little bit on competency now. Looking at the fact that they have ranking members also there, I see no reason why the Southeast should not be given priority in this.
There is no reason why the Southeast should not. And this is the mistake that from the very beginning President Buhari made. Okay, when he was asked, I think it was in the US, he was interviewed by
one of those networks.
Yeah.
The 97%
from so you don't expect it. No, that is not it. Okay.
Well, then he wasn't a politician then.
No, it does not matter. If you enter into the fray, then you should be able to dance the dance of the fray. Okay. And whatever you say, must be guided.
Yes.
So if you make such an unguarded statement, instead of you, this is you who said that I am for everybody and I'm from nobody. Then within
the same breath,
you heard that some people voted for you more. So
those that didn't vote as much should not
expect to be treated as no.
That was not.
So it does not matter, and you're only looking at it now. In this case, we are talking about the National Assembly. If you say that the Southeast should not be considered seriously, it will go to say that you are considering only the presidential election. But still in the Southeast, they did senatorial elections and they did National Assembly elections and returned
some party members,
APC members.
Yes.
So they returned APC members. So, and after all, I always make the example. Of a young man trying to woo a young lady. You talk to her today, she does not answer. You say, hi, hello, she doesn't answer you nicely. You love her. And then tomorrow you see her, you say, hey, hi, how are you doing? And she says, I'm fine. Now you're happy, you're making progress.
Yes.
Okay? So you believe that after about 5 encounters, you should be able to get into some nice talking terms with her.
And probably get the phone number.
That's it. So what stops
the
APC from giving any of the Southeasterners that thing? It is the same kind of problem we had in Kaduna State, where the present governor felt that some people voted for him more than others. More than others. Okay. Meanwhile, in 2015, this our present governor was the first non-PDP person to get over 40%, to get up to 20% in Southern Kaduna.
Yes.
And he got about 46, 47% of the vote of Southern Kaduna.
Yeah.
And all that happened, and it's no secret. Yeah, there is really no love lost between him and that part of the state, based on what we have heard directly and the actual scene. So I say that once there is a slight glimmer of hope, pursue it very, very well.
Yeah.
So the fact that these people did not quite vote for your party in the presidential election, but that they were able to return senators and other members of the National Assembly from your party, play with them. It means that there is hope. So work on that hope.
Yes, working on hope, and the fact that every part of the country needs to be carried along. Maybe one of these days we'll come to really talk about the reason why in Nigeria's situation today we have sacrificed competency on the altar of federal character, quota system, or call it whatever, because I believe that is in other climes. I have some friends in the US. They have the affirmative action also in place in the US, most especially for the indigenous people, the red
for the blacks
and
the indigenous
people. And now, my friend was telling me that it's an insult to him to be captured, to get into position, admission, or whatever via the affirmative action catchment. That is an insult.
Yeah.
That's why you should say no. They will look down on him that you're not smart enough to be here. You're not qualified to be here. Yeah. So based on that, the affirmative action quota is always there. Nobody gets to. Nobody gets to feel it.
Yeah, but the people for whom the affirmative action quota was, or the affirmative, that policy was created, they are not the best. They are not the most well-off people.
Yeah.
They have not really caught up with the rest of the population. Instead, new citizens are coming into the country and are doing better than they. Okay, they are doing better. I mean, Nigerians are doing very well. Other Africans are doing very well in the United States. Whereas the black Americans, the real black Americans that have been there from slavery days, well, they are not doing as well. Okay, so you have all of these things and they have not worked for you. And it is the same thing here in Nigeria. Okay, we talk about affirmative actions or whatever, quota system, federal character, and stuff like that. One of the reasons why we didn't get our independence in 1957 was because the North said we were not ready. And it was true. How many people were in the Federal Civil Service at that time? Okay, perhaps 1 or 2 persons from Northern Nigeria were in the Federal Civil Service and stuff like that. So, but yeah, they had the premier of the Northern region, Sedona, had tried to send people to different, institutions to go and study and come back and take. So by 1960 it was. So, and even with that, they said there was the need to create that federal character so that everybody will have a feel of, a feeling of being carried along. Since then, up until this day, in all the human development indices,
the zone is a little bit.
Northern Nigeria is far behind. In fact, Northern Nigeria is the capital of poverty in Nigeria. Every negative index that has got to do with the child, the woman, and whatever, disability and stuff. All of those indices, they are negative indices, are resident here in Northern Nigeria. So how has the federal character thing helped Northern Nigeria to catch up? It hasn't helped. Okay? You will see FGC, exams for federal government colleges, being written. Some states will be expected to bring two candidates.
No, two. Their scores.
Just two.
2 points.
Yeah, 2 points. Whereas others will be expected to
300
and something points. And yet, okay, is it in the entry requirements or scores in JAM, cut-off marks in JAM? Certain states are considered disadvantaged. They have been considered disadvantaged, as I usually say, since the devil was a toddler. And now, in the village, now the devil has grown up, left the village, come into the city and become very streetwise. They are still disadvantaged. So it won't help anybody. Okay? And I always argue that, look, especially in the north, what northerners can do, if God opens their eyes, if God opens their eyes to see what they can do, oh no, they will say, please keep these things away from us. Can you imagine a child or a young person of age 10, 11, 12 memorizing the entirety of the Quran
from beginning to end?
Wow! Man! So put that brain to task. And you will understand what we have in Northern Nigeria.
Yeah.
So, but is it the politicians or the elite class of the Northern Nigeria? They just keep on latching on some of these things. Of course, there are in the US, the issue of race. There are race hustlers, race entrepreneurs. Okay. Here, I don't know, ethnic entrepreneurs, religious hustlers, religion hustlers, and stuff like that. There are those who they profit from these things. The moment things begin to work well, then they are out of business. So they would like to perpetrate all of these issues.
While you're listening to Ground Zero, it's coming to you on Presidency Radio in collaboration with Invicta FM. And today we are looking at the Senate presidency. Zoning or no zoning? Should we sacrifice competence on the altar of zoning? Why are the governors so interested in who becomes? The president-elect has already said that he is ready to work with the NWC and do whatever they are advising every other person to work with them. I have a call coming in now. Dangwa Abbas is supposed to have been with us, but he's trying to connect with us now. Hello, Dangwa.
Yes, sir. So sorry for the network challenge all this while.
Yeah.
Good evening.
Good evening. You're welcome to the program. Quickly, in like 3 to 5 minutes, drop it hot. Then we open up the phone lines.
Okay. Well, it is no longer news that Jagaban is in town, and the consultations have begun. Certainly, interest are beginning to show up, and for what we know, the entire conversation is no more about President Muhammadu Buhari. It's about the body language of Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Who will he want to work with from the National Assembly? And we've always said we're now in this situation because of the weak institutions we have around our democracy. And it starts from the political party, knowing fully well that for the next 4 years, he is going to be a determinant factor as to what happens within the political party. And certainly people want to, as much as possible, play along his interests. And also for the fact that being in control of the executive, that can call to, account any official whatsoever at the National Assembly, whom, by the way, do not enjoy any form of immunity, is a very critical reason why he is a key critical, stakeholder. And a lot of people vying for that position will continue to look at his disposition, his body language, where is his interest lying, and who is he supporting. And these are just the very bases and dynamics that will determine the leadership of the assembly. And so the entire concern is more refined, because the man they should be having the conversation with is finally in town.
All right, finally in town, and them getting set for all of this now. Just like we have mentioned here now, should we sacrifice competence on the altar of zoning and the fact that groups are agitating microzoning the Senate presidency to the South? What's your take on that?
Well, there are competent people everywhere, and until we begin to disabuse our minds about allowing for cronies and friends, family, to dominate the political scene, we have to be forward-looking around national unity and ensuring that every, critical stakeholder as what makes up the Nigerian state today, is concerned, is well accommodated. So it's about unity. And so the microzoning now of the Senate President to the South, it's not actually a cry that is lacking in merit. The zone has never produced a speaker, nor have they produced, I think, besides Patricia, of course, which we all know how short-lived that tenure was. The South has rarely produced any speaker in today's democracy from 99 to date. Neither have they also produced a Senate president. So the Southeast, however, have been again, I think, for 8 years. And the new thought, however, is that we are not going to talk about equity, justice, and fairness if we go on to have a government today that will not accommodate the Southeast and more around the hierarchy of power or within these principal offices as we have them today. So right. Yes, the issue of moving to South should have some level of fighting and weight, but most importantly, in the interest of unity, I think the Southeast is actually more attractive as it is today for the office of Speaker, concerning the fact again that it is the only one that has also opened up more to the APC, to the point now that at least you can say they have won a state now for the first time, Ebonyi, and also complementing, of course, if there is any fortune that the people of Imo will say that the APC leadership in the state have done well enough for a return, then certainly we will consider that there are now 2 states by the end of the rounds of this election that are from the APC in the southeast. We don't see the same situation in the south currently.
All right, thank you so much. We'll open up the phone lines now and start to take the calls. 0809-799-1989. That's 0809-799-1989 is the number to dial to add your voice to the conversation this evening. And we are looking at Senate presidency. And of course, it's coming to you on Ground Zero right here from Procyon Radio, in collaboration with Invicta FM, and a regular feature every Tuesdays and Fridays, the collaboration, but every other working day of the week from 5 to 6, you can listen to a fresh edition or a rerun edition. 0809-799-1989 is the number to dial. As we await your call, we'll come back to the studio and get talking. From observations made by Dangwa that the South has never produced either a Senate president or speaker, because Patricia actually
Patricia from Osun State.
Yes. So we may not consider how to be. I think the husband is the one that's from Sasa, but she's from.
I don't know.
Well, I don't know, but the name again, I know it's not a Yoruba name.
Well, it depends. It is E-double-T-E-H. So it may be from...
it's not Yoruba. I am very familiar with that.
Okay. Well, I don't know.
Because the Ete of Yoruba is the lips with the Ete, a single T.
Yeah, it is we pronounce it Ete. We don't know how they pronounce
I go up there. I know the name. I'm
possible Ete, whatever. But then,
yes, the lines are open. 0809 799-1989 is the number to dial to be part of the program Ground Zero this evening, and let's talk about the Australian issues in the polity.
The immediate past Deputy Senate President is from the South. Okay? That's Omar Agege.
Yes, Omar Agege.
He's from the
South.
I think there are some other persons in time past, not necessarily either the Senate President or whatever, and they have produced the President.
They have
produced the President. And like I said, Adolphus Wabara from Rivers State was there. So I think you remember when he was there during Obasanjo.
Yes.
So he was there. So it is, and then right now I think the bribe that the APC should seek to court, I believe it should be the Southeast.
Yes.
On this issue, so as to give them a sense of belonging and stuff.
I think we have a call now. Hello, good evening and welcome to Ground Zero.
Hello, good evening, Mr. Hayes.
Good evening, you're welcome to the program. What's your name and where are you calling us from?
Ibrahim, coming from Kabbalah Adoki.
All right, Ibrahim from Kabbalah Adoki.
I'm also again, my greeting to our guests here as well.
Thank you.
In fact, they have spoken well and spoken attentively the way it should be. Their analysis and the answers is highly commendable. And your last guest as well, I just spoke also spoke my mind. You see, the zoning of every political office from presidency, senate president, and vice president, please, in a nutshell, is not even in our constitution. We need to act it. You don't know why I say so?
No.
Am I communicating?
You are communicating, but tell me why.
This is one thing that we have to bring into this. Is this what our constitution stands for? The answer is capital no. But for justice, equity, and fairness, that is why we are trying to go along with this. Because, yes, and people of people is this. Sometimes is the advantage of having the legislative house of government to have that leadership house. That has made it always on the advantage. Why did I say so? The countries always have the advantage of having the Senate president. Hello.
Yeah, I'm listening.
Having the Senate president.
Yeah.
And how would I say it again? The elected speaker and deputy Senate president as well. And then from the other party. Now we are now in another new party, which is the party. But for that justice and equity to reign and to bring cleanness in the politics, I believe that the political parties they have to really come into a real internal democracy. If those things come to play, there shouldn't be any other outcome that we have this time around because we want Nigeria to move forward. But if they want to go their case, well, the leader gets it forward. That is where some political parties come to as well.
Okay.
The leader is not going to follow. This is president elected that going to have to carry everybody along. I think we have to have to think and do that very clean and clear.
All right.
If the party also decide that the party goes to another school this time around, yeah, it's the only way up because we want us because you have this or that, but competency needs to come to play. That is why I only like this program. I said to them, well, what you are bringing out for us is for us to try to bring our own issues, and this is what I would call democracy. But we should not try to jeopardize the success of Nigerian integrity in the heart of the world. Now,
all right.
Some is always have this all around, but by God's will, God is going to help us out.
All right.
And finally, I continue really. In the South, that's what I want to have one member from the party like this. Like I know they have two senators. Now, and also in Bonny, they also have one. And if you ask me, when this is Bayenda as well, they also have one. And in something, how many times do they have? So that is not what we are trying to do with.
Okay.
We want something simply and fairness. So everybody should be coming along. But one have done the other ethnic part of this government that don't have anybody like us, like the North Central.
Okay.
We have more young babies and North Central, the same thing. So if we want to go into these three major languages, we are also getting it wrong. What we should do now this time around is it's just to give the person that have the competency, capacity, and equity. That's so that let them have to play the same role with the students. Nigerian people, not something that will drive.
All right, thank you, Ibrahim. Thank you, Ibrahim. All right. You're welcome. Thank you so very much, Ibrahim. You made your point. 009-799-1989. He was talking about the fact that whether competency or that we should also give another zone. Hello, good evening.
Hello.
Good evening. You are welcome to Ground Zero. What's your name and where are you calling us from?
Good evening.
All right, Abdullah from Kudende. Let's have your take.
Let us call it quick. The truth is, if the president is willing to work for this country, we should talk about all the good government. We forget about sentiment and preferential treatment. Everybody is equal. So the state of fairness, equity, and justice. We shouldn't be one hundred president. This is a promise that is going to work with everybody. We should allow justice to play out, and allow fairness and equity to play out. Nobody is above law, and nobody is better. Everybody should be treated equally. And there should be no inferiority complex.
Okay, Abdullah, no, don't go yet. Abdullah just left. Abdullah, you still with me? Okay, would you want the Senate president to be zoned to the southeast or south-south? Okay. All right. Thank you so much. You want everybody to be carried along. All right. Thank you so very much. Hello, good evening, and welcome to Ground Zero.
Good evening, Mr. Ennis, and good evening to your guests in the studio.
All right. Good evening. What's your name and where are you calling us from?
I remember Uncle Engineer Emmanuel.
All right, Engineer Emmanuel.
Mr. Ennis, I want to ask your guests in the studio and you yourself, is it wrong for us to be fair and equity and justice to everybody in this country? Does this country belong to a particular set of people? Why all this lobby for things? Now we have the president. We know where he's coming from. We have the vice where he's coming from. Why all this left, right, and center? I think yesterday, Tinubu said they should maintain the Sony formula. They should forget about the conception of a thing. Now, if they are looking at who will be the Senate president, for me, I don't have a problem who becomes the Senate president. The problem I will have, I don't want to see a rubber stamp. Assembly. I want to see a national assembly that are independent, that will carry their function without fear or without favor, so that the country will move forward. It was due to the line from a standard assembly our debt profile rise to for something trillion. So let there be fairness, and everything will be okay for everyone.
All right.
The only thing that they are trying to lobby this, lobby that. So I just said I answered the former Senate president say he wants to contest as well. It's just unfortunate, my brother.
All right. Thank you so much, Emmanuel.
Good evening, my brother.
All right. Sorry about that. Hello. Good evening. Hello. Okay. Okay. Now, for the messages that you'll be sending in, please just send your messages to the WhatsApp handle. That's of 0809-799-1989. Send your messages to the WhatsApp handle so that we can read them all out here, because the system we presently have cannot comfortably take text messages. So if you have messages that you want to send in respect of the program, send them to the number 0809-799. What's SMS? Our SMS does not. This system does not. Just WhatsApp. Yeah. We'll take this last call. Hello. Good evening. Hello. Good evening.
Hello.
Good evening. You are welcome to the program. In 30 seconds, let's have your take. Elder Dari Adebanjo, in 30 seconds, let's have your take.
All right. I think for me, I think we're having this issue is because of where the vice president is coming from. It has been based on equity and justice. I don't think we'll be having this problem. I think what the political party would have just done is to sleep. Because there's no part of this country that is for a qualified, candidate to hold any office. And no Nigeria should be more Nigerian than Nigeria. Let's just see that equity is the power, and let's have a wonderful country, the United States.
All right.
Good evening.
Good evening. Thank you so much, Elder Dari. We'll come back to this. Actually, we have 1 minute to round up.
Oh, yeah.
So let's see how we can.
Well, there is no part of this country that does not have people with the competence to hold these kinds of positions that we're talking about. The only problem is that only few persons get elected. And it is only from amongst the elected that we can get whoever that will occupy the Senate president's office or position and the speaker. And not just that, such a person, must be not a first timer.
Yeah.
The person must be at least a second timer.
Yeah.
So if you begin to narrow all of these things, you discover that it is possible to have somebody from a certain part of this country that is not competent enough. I mean, let us not run away.
Let us not play politics with that.
Yes, let us not play politics with that. But the hope is that everybody will be seen to be carried along. Everybody will be seen to be carried along, especially in the distribution of these
positions, offices.
And it is very unfortunate. It is very unfortunate that we are having to discuss these kinds of things. It is because of the rascality that the political class has conducted itself with in the last 24 years. That is why we are finding ourselves where we are today. If not, if they had done very well, and if they had been seen to be moving in the right direction, and the country is also moving in the right direction, I do not think that people will make so much noise.
Dangwa, your parting shots in 30 seconds.
I would say that every constituency have a responsibility to ensure that their member at the House of Representatives, at the Senate, even at the State House of Assembly is not hijacked in Abuja or hijacked by Abuja or the Guard Hall.
Okay.
If the constituency will hold her ground and ensure that stakeholder dialogue and constituency engagements happen, irrespective of political party divide, then certainly we will have members who speak our interests wherever they are.
All right, that's why we must go now.
And that is something that should be non-negotiable in this dispensation.
All right, thank you so much for having time to be on the program, Dangwa. Zwango, thank you so very much.
My pleasure.
All right, that's about the size of the program today. As we wrap up, I'd like to remind you that the training for OAPs, presenters, producers, camera persons, editors, right here at the Presidency Media Center will start off on the 2nd of May. And to be part of it, you call the number 0809 7991989, or you go to any of our social media platforms and just drop a message. You can get details of that if you go to the website of PresidencyNews.com. Zwago Yangwedi, Dangwa Abbas, thank you so very much. And to the production team, Mercy Ofuya, Grace Adebayo, Grace Daniel, Efose Adon, Nifemi Onidbiyo, and of course to Michael Ude, not forgetting Sarah Adon, the production lead. I say a very big thank you to everybody. I am Ahis Adon, coming the peacemaker. We'll see you on Friday as we take on the conversation right here. But meanwhile, tomorrow on Prosian Radio, you can listen to us as we will be coming up with another edition of Ground Zero.